G'day all, Tony here. I thought I'd show you a quick video of me track. Got my little Ferrari 250 scratch build I did here. It's an old Airfix kit. I'll do a few laps and then I'll try and take the camera off the tripod and show you a bit of the track. It's got a hell of a lot to do. It's my depiction of Donington Park. This end closest to the camera is sort of late 1930s, 40s, and the far end is more modern 2002-ish. So yeah, I'll do a couple of laps and then I'll show you a bit, and I'll show you the hot rod I'm building. That was on 9.2 volts of right, I'll try and take this off, not hang up the thing. There we go. Yeah, that was on 9.2 volts. I've got set up, that lane is on that setup and the other lane is on that. So here's my little Ferrari. The colour is really nice. So this end is going to be gonna finish the trees. Mag Racing signs is another 2 Mag Racing signs. These fences here, I brought some white picket fences from Hobbycraft and just broke them up and then aged them, put some wire on them. There's some what do you call it, coffee bags, and I just cut them all up and put some sponge inside them. The start finish lines, these are a copy of at Donington, oh god, what year, definitely late 30s. The sponsors they had on them, it's actually proper banner material, hand painted it all, bit of brass on the end. Here's my attempt at trees, and all the leaves are falling down because we've got a Maine Coon and she keeps coming in here and she's a giant. Here's my little this little shed is in, I've got photos of it was at Donington. Didn't have that BP on it, but I put that there. I thought that was quite cool. But that's covering my what do you call it, I can't remember where the controls go. Here's your start banner. All this is insulation board, and I've slowly started doing a bit of grass. This fence is pretty cool. I think these are the gates that they had at Donington years ago. he actually opens. That comes out and he opens. And those little things I used, they're off. I broke up some sunglasses. Can't really see, but and we got another mag racing thing, and my cool rat thing, which I got from Dave, Shotgun Dave. How cool is that? 3D printed. He sent me the files. I got a mate to print them. Took an old sign writing brush and glued it in the pot. Ed Roth wouldn't have sold out to China. It's just a bit of tongue-in-cheek. And here's part of the old bridge. It used to be at Donington with the land speed record thing. I don't even know if that ran actually. Cesano's sponsor, I quite like that. It was one of the races Rossi was in. This is the main end. It's all for Valentino Rossi because I'm a nut supporter. Here's me Audi R8. Spoiler's broken off. That is a Scale Auto white kit. Such a cool car. I'm looking forward to Slottett's coming out. I've got that on pre-order. That's my first scratch build. Rest in peace, Stoney. You're a legend, mate. Suzuki motorbike, 750 motor in it. That's oh, what was that? That was one of those pullback cars. I cut the back off and made it a crew cab. I'm going to put a brass chassis on that. I don't like the plastic chassis and the wheels. It just topples over. I can make that go better, I think. Coming down this end, cool Mag Racing. Oh, this is from Mag Racing. I can't remember what kit it was, but I've made it into two. I joint them up in the middle, and then I've got a really old phone in there, and that's got some lap counter thing. I can't remember what it is. So that's pretty cool. I'll hook that up to a telly one day, maybe up there. That is the Spitfire that used to be at Donington. Don't know if it still is. I made that out of brass and spray painted it. Mag Racing grandstands. They're going to have some billboards, yeah, something like this up the back of them, sponsors on them or whatever you eat. And all these fans, I've got loads more as well, are going to be painted like that fella. I had loads of I drew out loads of decals on my sign package and got them printed, decals printed from CNC Collins CNC Designs. Now this is really cool. I posted a video on Instagram. Actually, it's gonna live there, but all around here I'm gonna build some billboards as well. Lids come off. There we go. Can't get my finger in there. There we go. That's one of the boys' quad ones. But I had this Rossi can sitting up in me. I've actually got another one. That one's full. I thought, why not make a revolving massive billboard? The boys' stuff is so good. put some Danger Electric things on there. How cool is that? So that will live out there, and then down here, sponsor boards. I need to put a base over there. All this is going to be painted in grass, and I want to get a better Dunlop bridge than that. They're the originals, aren't they? But you can get better from, guess who? These boys. What we got down, that's just a straight line. Over there, I'm gonna probably, there's a lodge, it's not there now at Donington. I can't remember the name of it. Is it Reigate? Anyway, it's a lovely old British house, and it got removed eventually, not long ago really. So I'm gonna see if I can get one of the boys, sort of, they've got pubs and old houses, and see if I can make one sort of a quarter onto that side over there. And then just in front of it was an old Dunlop bridge, an old wooden one. So I'm probably going to scratch build myself one of those. There's another one of their cool signs. This is sort of where I tend to leave my cars when I'm working on them. That one runs really cool. I got it at Swap Meet. It didn't have a chassis, so I just put that chassis on. It had that motor, and it runs so good. This one I got at Gaydon not long ago, and I'm not into rallying, but I only brought this because Rossi raced it in 2012. So I've already, you can see a big gap there. I'm going to float. Put different screws in there, and this runs really well. I'm going to strip all that paint. Unfortunately the windows are black, but if they strip, they strip. I'll repaint them. That's going to get a Rossi livery. That actually runs really well now. I'm going to probably change the guide. If anyone knows what guide would run better than this, it just seems a bit too small. Let me know, that'd be great. Let's quickly show you my hot rod build I'm doing. This is mainly my little workbench. It looks a mess, but it's actually not that bad. Right, we've got primer. There's a lot of work gone into this so far. I've smoothed out all those windows. I cut that window out. This was a resin I got from Colin Spark. He does some lovely work. RS, he does all the tyres and the figures. I can't remember something miniatures. It will come to me. So yeah, this is coming along. I've added that there. That will be me float on the back. Literally tonight, I only just put in the motor and the slotted gearing. Wired that up. It runs, well, it doesn't run at the moment because I haven't got the front wheels, but this is a 20k. What's the motor? I can't remember. SRP 20k. Never heard of it, but it seems to run quite well. So that will hook in there, in between the motor. Not very good at this focusing. I suppose I'll get used to it. So that hooks in there like that, and then there'll be screws from underneath, and then you get your float like that. I love these wheels from Pendles. And tonight I've just been figuring out, this is going to be the driver, but he's going to be chopped because he's not going to have that head. He's going to have that head. and I actually quite like the body of that one. So I'm probably thinking about chopping him just under the waist, removing his arm at the elbow, and then try and graft it onto those two arms and his legs, and then he'll be sitting on this bench seat. And because it's a yank tank, he's going to have to be left-hand drive. What next? Oh, I've been waiting for some solder actually. This stuff here. Basically, I've chopped down a chassis, not chassis, an axle, which is from this model shop, and it's actually a truck axle, and it was quite a bit longer, so I've chopped it. You can sort of see in the middle where I've jointed it. Just there, there's a line just there. So I've soldered that back together, and then let me get a point. This little thing here, you're going to go in there like that, and that's where your guide's going to go through, because I want the guide at the front, because I think you need it at the front. And that solder I just showed you, I want to solder this brass onto this white metal, and the brass you can see it's threaded. The reason it's threaded is because the front wheels are going to have those little nuts on them. So I'm going to solder that solder there onto the brass first, and then put it into where it is at the moment, and then use different solder, and apparently that's what keys the brass to that. So fingers crossed, because it doesn't like white metal, obviously doesn't like hot stuff. And then my plan is, if this little axle I-beam works, I'm going to try and forge some. Try and make them. I brought myself a little furnace, tiny little thing. So I'm going to try and hopefully that works, and then I'll make a few out of brass. Well, this is going to be the master copy. This isn't probably going to go onto that. The forging of the brass will, so because that way the brass can be soldered onto my frame. So I hope that wasn't too boring. I'll try and do some more videos. I'll try and do some more of the build of the hot rod, and the track as it comes along. There's my little Ferrari. Thanks for watching.